NLWN-TV now brings you the In the Dugout show. A look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, join us in the dugout.
Hello and welcome to the Wisconsin Baseball Association Regional Tournament edition of In the Dugout. Rick Olson here in the NLWN-TV studios, and we're getting ready to bring you tournament action as the Eau Claire Cavaliers face the Iron City Miners at Bob Young Field in Ellsworth in their first matchup in WBA pool play. Now, coming up in this edition of In the Dugout, we'll take a look at today's matchup between the Cavs and the Miners. Then we'll get Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister's perspective on today's game in the Ryan Bemnister Show. Following that, we'll review the various WBA regional sites and check in on where the CRBL teams fit into the scheme of things. Also, we'll take a moment to get to know one of this season's Cavalier players in Cavalier Profile. Finally, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of today's game from Bob Young Field in Ellsworth. So it's time to get ready for some playoff baseball action, and we'll do just that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned in to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time Shiro to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Start saving more for retirement so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Very shortly, the Eau Claire Cavaliers will begin WBA regional tournament play as they take on the Iron City Miners. The Cavaliers are coming off an 11-1 loss to the Marshfield Chaparrals last Monday in a game the Cavaliers would simply like to put behind them. Now, in that game, the Cavaliers were led at the plate by Cody Dayton, who went 1 for 2, with that one being a double to lead off the second inning.
Cody sends a fly ball out to right center field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Cody rounds first. He's heading to second, and he's going to be in safely.
Dayton also got on in the sixth inning on an error by Chaparral shortstop Will Lee, driving in Jackson Vance for the Cavaliers' only run.
2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Past shortstop, and 1 run comes in for the Cavs.
Coach Bemnister likes that.
They're going to charge the shortstop with an error.
Although the Cavaliers struggled in the field, committing 6 errors, one bright spot was the leaping catch of a line drive by Tyson Woodcock in the second inning, robbing Al Licata of extra bases.
And the pitch. Soft liner, caught by Woodcock over at first. We needed every inch of his height to get that.
On the mound, Lucas Costley had his roughest outing of the season, giving up 7 runs, 6 of which were earned, in only 1 1/3 innings, while taking his first loss of the season. Today, the Cavaliers will face the Iron City Miners. The Miners are number 33 seed in the WBA tournament. The Miners' home field is in Mellon, Wisconsin, and they play their league games in the Upper 13 League in Northeast Wisconsin, where they finished the season with a 4-6 record. Now, we don't know much else about the Miners, so I guess we'll have to learn about them as the game progresses. The Miners are coming off a win over the Grandview Tigers in their most recent game by a score of 10-8. In league games against other teams in the WBA, the Miners were defeated by the Tony Hayshakers twice, the Glidden Orioles twice, the Washburn Sharptails, and the Lake Superior Sea Dogs. Now, coming into this game, leading the way for the Cavaliers at the plate is Xavier Bemnister, who's hitting at a .360 pace and has driven in 13 RBI on 27 hits, including 5 doubles. Right behind Bemnister with a .309 batting average is Caden Erickson, who leads the Cavaliers with 38 hits, including 9 doubles. On the mound, the Cavaliers are being led by Lucas Costley. He's posted an 8-1 record with a 2.77 ERA and has struck out 62 in his 68 1/3 innings pitched. Andrew Milner has a 3.07 ERA with a 5-2 record and leads the team in strikeouts with 89 in 58 2/3 innings pitched. As a staff, the Cavaliers have a combined earned run average of 4.60 with a whip of 1.67. Coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get manager Ryan Bemnister's perspective as we chat with him on the Ryan Bemnister Show. You're tuned to In the Dugout, playoff style, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-2. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
The Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire presents The Ryan Bemnister Show, where Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister gives us his perspective on today's game. And now, The Ryan Bemnister Show.
Once again, we're at the Goat Coffee House talking with Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister. And Ryan, today the Cavaliers are going to open their WBA regional pool play when they take on the Iron City Miners. But first, we really do have to briefly discuss the Cavaliers' last game, an 11-1 loss to the Marshfield Chaparrals last Monday. Your thoughts about that one?
It wasn't a very clean game to begin with. I mean, we had 6 errors in that game. I think we only had 4 hits. I just don't think the boys are ready to play. I mean, it's just one of those nights.
That's, to be honest with you, that's what it looked like to me, is that the game really had no impact on how any postseason play was going to happen. It had no impact on the standings in the CRBL. And I think that's kind of the way the players took the game, and it didn't mean anything, so it didn't mean anything.
Yeah, and I mean, those guys have been playing high-stress baseball for almost 3 weeks straight, just to get to the CRBL playoffs and then get the good seed that we did in the WBA. And we were missing a couple of key players in that lineup too, so that kind of hurts, you know. Again, I just think it was one of those days, one of those baseball days where they just weren't ready, and it didn't mean anything. And I think honestly, with how stressful the baseball's been for a couple weeks, I think it was just a night. It was just a night.
Sure.
Let's just say
and
that.
baseball does that from time to time. Now, in the last 3 games, however, the Cavaliers have scored a total of 2 runs in those 3 games. Are you concerned about the low run output in the recent games anyway?
No. I mean, if you look at those games, again, we take Marshfield out of the equation there. It's still only 1 run in the last, the 2 games prior to that. One was a carryover game that was a well-pitched game that was meant for us to get into the CRBL playoffs. And then the next game was, we saw, my opinion, probably the best pitcher in our entire CRBL league from Osseo. And he shut us down. What do you do? But I'm not concerned with the way the bats are, because we put the ball in play in each of those games against those pitchers. We'll find ways to score runs. We'll be fine. We're not going to see another pitch like we did against Osseo. Probably
unless you meet them in the finals.
State finals, yeah. So and that's kind of where we're looking.
So now it's on to the WBA regionals in Ellsworth, and the Cavs are going to face the Iron City Miners. What, if anything, do you know about the Miners, and what are you expecting in today's contest?
I know their record is 4-6.
Okay.
I know they've got 16 guys on their roster. I believe. I know that there's 3 other teams that Iron City has played that made the WBA. All 3 of those teams have beat them, beat Iron City. All three of those seeds are lower than us, and that tells you all I know about them.
Okay, now, once a team qualifies for the WBA regionals, they do have the opportunity to draft a player. Can you explain how that works, and if the Cavs drafted somebody, who was it, and what do you know about him?
Yeah, we did draft somebody. Basically, you get a roster of 20 people, 20 guys for your WBA roster, plus one player from your league that was on a team that did not make the WBA. For this year, the CRBO was so strong. They're sending 9 of the 11 teams to the WBA.
So that leaves 2 teams to pick from.
Yeah, and those were Augusta and Beef River. Both teams have high-quality players on both of them, but again, there's 9 other teams. We were fighting for our playoff lives throughout the whole end of the season. A lot of these other teams were kind of done, but knew they were going to make the WBA, so they had chances to talk to those teams and kind of get those players on their roster. So it's kind of slim pickings to begin with 2 teams. But since I've been coaching baseball for as long as I have, we were able to find a kind of a diamond in the rough type of player, and Gio Baselli. He's a young kid, first-year player in the CRBL. I coached him. Xavier, my son, coached him in a senior Babe Ruth. Heck of a ball player, middle infielder, pitcher. He was injured for most of the year, so that's why I think a lot of people skipped over him. But after the All-Star break, he was solid as could be. He actually pitched against us in Beef River, shut us down for 2 innings. Really, really, really good ball player, really good kid. So I gave him a call the other night, and he's like, nobody's talked to me, so I'll join you. And I know he wanted to be a Cav at the beginning of the year, but there were some Legion issues and things like that. So a really good player, somebody I know, somebody's going to fit in really well with us. Somebody's probably going to play a role for us, considering how small our roster is going into the WBA. A lot of these teams carry 20 guys. We're only carrying 16, 17 plus the 1. Plus we're going to be missing a few guys the first weekend, a few guys the second weekend. So, it'd be nice to have Gio around, and it's good that the WBA allows us to do that, because it gives you a lot of guys go after arms. So it gives you an extra arm going into the playoffs, which, getting into that second weekend, you can play 4 games in 2 days. So,
well, plus it gives those teams, such as Beef River in this case and Augusta, a chance to have some players play at the WBA tournament level, and they can bring that experience back to their clubs and hopefully elevate those clubs to be able to make it next year or the year after or something like that.
Definitely. I see that as in a player like Gio. He's probably going to be, their number 1 or number 2 pitcher next year with Beef River, and that's the kind of guy we got. So we're pretty lucky and fortunate for that, and Beef River's lucky to have a kid like that.
So speaking of pitchers, who's getting the call to the mound today?
Who else?
Well, I'm assuming you mean Lucas.
Yeah. And that's just the kind of case we're going to go after. I've always coached throughout my entire career, like, you can't play tomorrow if you don't win today, type of mindset. So
exactly,
always throw the best guys you have against whoever it is, no matter Iron City of 4 and 16, Whistle Seed, who we will see tomorrow or tonight again. You don't know what you're getting in those teams, and they could have a rock star pitcher that we don't know about.
Right, and you dance with who you brought to the dance.
So we're going to go with Lucas in game 1 against Iron City. Hopefully we can get him, only have him pitch a few innings and kind of get up on these guys a little bit, get the sticks going, and hopefully it's a win.
And you mentioned that you're going to be playing Whittlesea either this afternoon or tomorrow, actually be this evening or tomorrow, and basically that's, if you win, it's tomorrow, and if Iron City comes out on top in this one, then you'll play Whittlesea this evening at 7.
Yeah, and I don't want to have a situation where we were in last year where when we played last year, we had lost the game, and we needed to do like a run differential and runs given up or something silly just to get to the state weekend. I'd rather just win 2 games and go there.
That sounds good. Well, good luck in today's game. Hopefully, after this game, the Cavs will find themselves taking on Whittlesea for a trip to the state tournament tomorrow afternoon.
Hope so.
You've been tuned to the Ryan Bempnister Show, presented by the Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire, with Cavalier manager Ryan Bempnister's outlook on today's game. Stay tuned. More of In the Dugout is coming right up.
Honey, the kids are antsy. What can we do that will keep all of us entertained and won't break the bank?
How about we take them to the Cavaliers game? Tickets are inexpensive, there's popcorn, hot dogs, and other baseball treats, and great baseball action.
That's right, Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, your best choice for affordable family entertainment. Check out the schedule at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
Welcome back to the WBA Regional Tournament edition of In the Dugout, as we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's game between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the Iron City Miners. Both of these teams are hoping to advance to the Wisconsin Baseball Association State Tournament next weekend in Eau Claire and Osseo. So let's take a look at how the Chippewa River Baseball League is represented in the WBA regional tournaments. It's quite a testament to the quality of the Chippewa River Baseball League when 9 of its 11 teams qualify for the 36 WBA regional slots. Those 36 teams are separated into 12 pools with 2 pools located at each site. The winner of each pool will advance to the WBA State Tournament next weekend in Eau Claire and Osseo. Now, in addition to the Cavaliers facing Iron City and Whittlesea in Pool B at Ellsworth, other CRBL teams in the regionals include the Eau Claire Rivermen facing the Wisconsin Rapids Redhawks and the La Crosse 35ers in Pool A at the first Wisconsin Rapids site, while the Bloomer Woodticks will take on the Everest Merchants and the Spring Valley Hawks in Pool A at the second Wisconsin Rapids site. At the Hayward Regional in Pool A, the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks face the Hayward Hawks and the Washburn Sharptails, while in Pool B, the Jim Falls Sturgeons square off against the Lake Superior Sea Dogs and the Spooner Cardinals. Over in River Falls in Pool A, the Cadott Red Sox face off against the number 1 seeded and defending WBA state champion River Falls Fighting Fish, as well as the Glidden Orioles. In Pool B, the Eau Claire Bears take on the Norwalk Knights and the Hudson River Rats. And down in the Augusta Regional, in Pool A, the Osseo Merchants square off against the Plum City Blues and the La Crosse Cardinals, while in Pool B, the Tilden Tigers are trying to return to the state championship game by taking on the Elmwood Expos and the Marshfield Chaparrals. Good luck to all 9 of the CRBL teams as they compete in the WBA regional action this weekend. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to know one of this season's Cavalier players on Cavalier Profile. You're tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Time now to get to know a Cavalier player on Cavalier Profile. We'll get to know a little better who plays on this year's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball team. And now, Cavalier Profile.
Today on Cavalier Profile, we're talking with Mitch Voller. And Mitch, can you fill us in on your role with the Cavaliers now that you're coming back for another season?
My role this year will likely be the same as last year. I'll be playing outfield. I've been playing center field so far, so look to see me there, and maybe a little bit of pitching too.
Now, when did you start playing baseball?
I've been playing baseball, unofficially probably since I was 2 or 3 in the backyard, and then ever since T-ball Little League when I was 5 or 6.
Nothing better than that backyard baseball, is there?
No, nothing.
All right.
Too many good memories.
Aside from the Cavaliers, what's the highest level of ball you've been playing?
Well, that would be high school baseball here in Eau Claire at Eau Claire Memorial.
Okay. Now, can you tell us about your most memorable experience? That can either be as a player or as a spectator.
Honestly, there's too many to count. I'd honestly say backyard baseball, just combine all those together.
Okay, all right. Now, how about filling us in a little bit about your family or friends that are going to be cheering for you at Cavs games?
Well, it'll be my mom and dad mostly. Tomorrow, my grandparents from Duluth will be there, and then maybe my brother once in a while.
Okay. I've got a few rapid-fire questions for you. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Pie.
Which kind?
Blueberry cream cheese from Quick Trip, Main Street.
Main Street blueberry cream cheese. I was just talking about that with some friends the other day. The berry and various different kinds of berries and cream cheese pie that comes from Main Street. You can't beat it, can you?
No, they're delicious.
Now, your favorite color and why?
Green, because it's the color of the outfield.
There you go. There you go. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Telekinesis, because you can control things with your mind. I can hit home runs every time.
Hey, good idea. Okay. Now, of course, if you have a superpower, you have to have a superhero name to go with it. What would your superhero name be?
I'd have to leave that for the citizens to decide.
Oh, the good people of whatever town that you're saving that day.
Yes.
Okay. Your favorite Major League team?
The Brewers.
Okay, and was there a player that you kind of idolized and patterned your game after as you were growing up?
I mean, Ryan Braun sticks out just because he's been on the Brewers for so long, especially when I was first getting into baseball, so I'd have to go with him.
And as you were growing up, your favorite movie or TV show that you really enjoyed?
Star Wars.
Okay, the whole series?
Yeah, we'll just say the whole series.
We're talking with Mitch Voller on Cavalier Profile. And Mitch, when you're not playing baseball, where are we going to find you?
This summer, I'll hopefully be doing a lot of fishing, maybe some biking or out on the lake.
Okay. And when people watch Cavalier games, you mentioned you're mostly out there in the outfield. What number should they be looking for?
I am number 2.
Okay, and we've been talking with Mitch Voller today on Cavalier Profile. More in the dugout coming up right after this.
This has been Cavalier Profile, where we get to know a little better who plays on the Cavalier baseball team. Stay tuned, more in the dugout coming right up.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime.
Okay. Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Today is the Cavaliers opener for play in the WBA regional tournament as they'll be taking on the Iron City Miners. The Cavaliers are in Pool B of the Ellsworth Regional, facing both the Miners and then later the Whittlesea Reds. The WBA regionals divide the 36 qualifying teams into 12 three-team pools, and each pool plays round-robin style, with the winner of each pool advancing to the WBA state tournament in Eau Claire and Osseo next weekend. Now that all means that you're about to see some exciting Cavalier playoff baseball, and we'll have it for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'll be joining the rest of our broadcast crew at Bob Young Field in Ellsworth as we bring you all the action of today's WBA regional game. You've been tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. This has been a presentation of NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball is on the air. The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly brings you today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Join us as we follow the Cavs while they battle their way through the Chippewa River Baseball League.
Fly ball into left field. Could it be? Could it be? Way back. Toss the fence and it's out of here. It's a 3-run home run and the Cavaliers take the lead.
And now, out to the ballpark for coverage of today's game.
But we'll get through it one way or another. So due up for the Cavaliers in the bottom half of the first inning, we have Caden Erickson, Xavier Bemnister, and Gabe O'Brien. As we have no score, and we also have no score bug for some reason. But I think that can come back. There we go. This is going to be interesting.
The second baseman, number 6, Caden Erickson.
So Caden Erickson leading things off for the Cavaliers. Erickson coming in batting .309.
Playing second.
So Erickson pops out to first. That brings up Xavier Bemnister batting .360. Pop foul out of play down the first base side. And the pitch. It's low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the first inning, no score. And that pitch is low for a ball. We're quite a ways up on a hill here in Ellsworth. And the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 2. For the Iron City Miners at third base is Huber Zakovic. Tommy Zakovic is at short. Stovall's at second. Swinging a ground ball over to third. Huber with the ball throws over to first in time. That'll bring up Gabe O'Brien for the Cavaliers, batting .287. Jake Koza is at first base. Colin Randozzo on the mound. And Ike Bramlett is behind the plate. Ike Bramlett is the pickup player for the Iron City Miners. Out in the outfield, Luke Zakovic, Joe Wiener, and Zuito. Going from left to right. Check swing foul by O'Brien. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 down. And a strike called.
I'm the third baseman.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch is outside. 3-2 is the count. And the pitch. Swung on, ground ball over to second. Picked up there by Stovall, throw to first, and it's in time, and the Cavs go down in order. So for the Cavaliers, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We've completed an inning and no score from the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
I love the pizza we get when we go to Gino's Pizza.
That's because Gino's has been voted best pizza in the Chippewa Valley 5 years in a row.
I think it's because Gino's uses the freshest ingredients, premium quality meats, cheeses, savory spices, and zesty toppings, and all served with attention to detail.
Now you're making me hungry. Let's head to Gino's Pizza.
Scott and the rest of the folks at Gino's Pizza would like to invite you to come out and try the area's best pizza. Call about Monday through Wednesday dine-in specials at 715-835-2000. That's Gino's Pizza at 5110 Fairview Drive, Eau Claire, right next to Chaos Water Park.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
Back here in Ellsworth, Rick Olson along with Ben Ryder and Ann Monroe, Cassie Johnson-Nelson. Cassie's in an interesting spot today. She's on top of the dugout. And so due up for the Iron City Miners are Jake Kozup, Joe Wiener, and Mitch Stovall.
Leading out for the Miners from the top of the second. First baseman number 24, Jake Kozup.
On the mound for the Cavaliers, Jackson Vance. Vance comes into the game with a 2-3 record and a 5.26 ERA. And that's a change from what manager Ryan Bemnister was telling us on the in the dugout show. First pitch is a strike called. He was expecting to throw Lucas Costley tonight, but Costley had a sore arm. Strike 2 called at the knees to Jake Kozup. And the pitch. That one misses. One ball and 2 strikes to Jake Kozup. Nobody out, top of the second inning. No score. Swing and a miss. Gets past Timon, and that's going to go in the book as a strikeout, but a wild pitch. And it puts the runner on first.
Center fielder number 25, Joe Weiner.
So Joe Weiner steps to the plate. And the pitch. He squares to bunt, pops it straight up, and Jackson Vance comes over and makes the catch. That'll bring up Mitch Stovall.
Second baseman, number 12, Michael Stovall.
Actually, it's Michael Stovall. And the pitch is a strike called at the knees. And it's a called strike. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down. That brings up Tommy Zakovic. He's the shortstop.
Tommy Zakovic.
And the pitch. That's low and away for a ball. Vance delivers. And that's a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch. That's outside for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 down. Runner on first. That's Kozup. He actually struck out, but got the first on a wild pitch. And the pitch. That's low for a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. Vance looks in and delivers. And ball 4. So 2 runners on. Brings up the pickup player for the Miners. That's Ike Bramlett. They picked him up from Tri-County. I recognize the uniform. And the pitch. That's a strike called. Two runners on. Vance at the belt. Looks at second. And delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Jackson Vance looks over at second and delivers. Inside for a ball. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 4 for Jackson Vance. So far today, we completed an inning and a half. And we have no score from NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
I love the pizza we get when we go to Gino's Pizza.
That's because Gino's has been voted best pizza in the Chippewa Valley 5 years in a row.
I think it's because Gino's uses the freshest ingredients, premium quality meats, cheeses, savory spices, and zesty toppings, and all served with attention to detail.
Now you're making me hungry. Let's head to Gino's Pizza.
Scott and the rest of the folks at Gino's Pizza would like to invite you to come out and try the area's best pizza. Call about Monday through Wednesday dine-in specials at 715-835-2000. That's Gino's Pizza at 5110 Fairview Drive, Eau Claire, right next to Chaos Water Park.
So we're back here in Ellsworth, and our Gino's player of the game, by the way, I should mention, was Gabe O'Brien, or is Gabe O'Brien today. Now, Gabe grounded out to second his first time up, but if you mention Gabe's name when you go out to Gino's tomorrow, you get a free soft drink, and if Gabe should manage to score today, you'll get a free appetizer for your table. Now, Lucas Costley was unable to pitch today due to a sore arm, but he's out coaching first. He's one of those guys that he'll always be there.
He's an Iron Man in his own right.
Leading off for the Cavs in the bottom of the second.
So, leading off for the Cavaliers, Jack Redwine. He'll be followed by Cole Timon and Campbell Kapanke. Redwine batting .280. Colin Rendezzo on the mound. He winds and delivers. That's high and away for a ball. WBA regional action. This is pool play. Pitch is low. Cavaliers are in Pool B here at the Ellsworth Regional. And that pitch misses. 3 balls and no strikes to Jack Redwine. And the pitch. That's a strike. To get me over pitch that time by Rendazzo. And the 3-1 pitch. Fly ball out into right field. Could find a gap. It's way back. And it's gone. A home run for Jack Redwine.
And the Cuban Missile Crisis delivers.
Had a little bit of a talk with his dad about that name, and I'll have to try to remember that story, or maybe we'll get him to come over and tell the story in a little bit. But the Cuban Missile Crisis just sent one, and that was not a Scud missile. It got all the way out of the ballpark. Cavaliers take the lead 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning, and that brings up Cole Timon. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's high for a ball. It's a deep shot to right field here. A high wall out in left field. Swing and a miss for a strike. That's home run number 3 on the season for Jack Redwine. And that pitch is in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike.
And I have just got confirmation from Jack Redwine's dad that as soon as Rick motions him over throughout the broadcast, he will be glad to tell the story about how he got the nickname the Cuban Missile Crisis.
And a ground ball over to third. Scooped and throw over to first, and they got him. Huber with a nice scoop and throw to Kozup, and Timon goes down 5-3. Brings up Campbell Kapanke. Kapanke batting .280. And he fouls that one back into the screen. And we're sorry for the technical issues we've been having. We are currently in the bottom of the second inning. The Cavaliers are on top by a score of 1-0. 2 down, a 2-2 count to Ben Boda. And that missed. Count goes full to Ben Boda. 2 runners on. We have Campbell Kapanke out at second, Tyson Woodcock at first. Runners will be off on the pitch. And it's high for ball 4. Bases are now loaded. Back to the top of the order. Caden Erickson steps to the plate. Cavaliers did get their 1 run on a home run courtesy of Jack Redwine.
Erickson leads the team in at-bats with 123 on the season.
Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Caden Erickson. Erickson popped to first his last time up. Line shot out into center field. 1 run is in. Here comes the rounding third, and coming in to score is Woodcock. And a 2 RBI single to center field by Caden Erickson. Put the Cavaliers on top, 3-0.
Third baseman number 4.
Checking in at third base is Ben Boda.
Bemnister comes in with a team-leading batting average of .360.
Here's another one.
Pop up out into right field and hauled in. So, we have now completed 2 innings as the Cavaliers got 3 runs on 3 hits. 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. We've completed 2 and it's 3-0. Cavaliers over Iron City on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Let Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How is it? Is it good?
And we're back here at Ellsworth with our backup audio system. So we apologize if the quality of the sound isn't quite as good as it usually is. For some reason, our mixer doesn't want to be recognized. And I don't know why, but for some reason, it's just not cooperating with us. And occasionally that happens.
Right fielder number 4. Marcus
So leading off the top of the 3rd inning for the Iron City Miners. And it's Marshall Zuito, the right fielder. And the first pitch is a strike from Jackson Vance. Vance winds and delivers. Strike 2 called. Vance winds and fires, and it's fouled back. Here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Marshall Zuito, the number 9 hitter. Vance delivers. That's high for a ball. Here's the pitch. Strike called. Zuito goes down looking. Takes us back to the top of the order to Luke Zekovic. He grounded to third his first time up. That's strikeout number 5 for Jackson Vance so far today. Vance fires, and that just missed a little low. Here's the pitch. Strike called on the inside third of the plate.
Vance prefers to go with the stretch, even with no runners on base.
Takes the sign and delivers. Swing and a miss. Curveball. He had Zuito way out in front on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. It's going to bring up James Huber. Huber struck out his first time up. That's strikeout number, well, technically it's strikeout number 7 for Vance. Only one of them, the runner got to first on a wild pitch.
Yes, we did have one strike him out, throw him out, Rick.
Only it wasn't a throw him out.
Only he didn't throw him out.
Two balls and no strikes now to Huber. And the pitch. That's inside for a ball.
Should mention it's a little tough from our viewpoint to tell if it's inside or outside. We can see high and low pretty good.
And the pitch. Strike called. That's Vance's get me over pitch. 3 balls, 1 strike. To James Huber. And ball 4. That's the second free pass given up by Vance.
The pitcher, number 21.
That brings up the pitcher, Colin Randozzo. Randozzo struck out looking his first time up. And the pitch. Strike called. Hard shot. Took Vance's glove off. Throw over to first. And they didn't get him. And over to third goes Huber. And I think they're going to give him an infield hit on that. Because I think he beat the throw to first anyway. Not going to charge Vance with an error. Foul back into the screen. This is Jake Kozup. Runners on the corners. 2 down. Pitch is outside for a ball. Counts even at 1-1. Vance at the belt. Runner takes off, turns, and they've got him hung up. And the run comes in to score. They worked the double steal that time.
They worked it a little differently. The runner left a little bit earlier than normal. Pitcher went to try to pick him off, and didn't happen.
He got himself into a rundown on purpose, and Vance went right at him, and then runner broke for the plate. Vance fired at the plate.
So the Cavs did it just like you're taught. It just didn't work out.
It makes the score 3-1 Cavaliers. Fly ball, shallow right field. Erickson calling everybody off, and he makes the catch. So we've played 2.5, and it's the Cavaliers 3 and the Iron City Miners 1 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-2. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
Heading into the bottom of the third inning, due up for the Cavaliers, Gabe O'Brien, our Geno's player of the game. He'll be followed by Jack Redwine and Cole Timon. O'Brien grounded to second his first time up.
Basically, if you tell the story about Jack, all you gotta do is just talk about the right thing. I think he's doing something. But I'll get out of your way and just kind of whatever Rick says. Yeah. If Rick says it's okay, he's the one that asked if we could do it.
Leading off for the Cavs in the bottom of the third. The right fielder,
So, stepping up right now is Gabe O'Brien. And as we mentioned, he grounded to second in his first appearance. Comes into the game batting .287. And that pitch is inside for a ball. Swing and a miss. Counts even at 1-1. And the pitch to O'Brien. That one missed. 2 balls and a strike. Mendoza winds and fires. It's low, ball 3. It's a hitter's pitch coming now for Gabe O'Brien. Swing and a miss. Count is full. Mendoza looks in for the sign. Winds and fires. That's down low for ball 4. So O'Brien is on at first. That brings up
Designated hitter number 20, Jack
Cuban
Redwine.
Missile Jack Redwine. Homered his first time up to give the Cavaliers their first run. We've got his dad right here. Tell us how he got that name.
Yeah, well, football season was shut down in the fall of his junior year, and we went in to play fall baseball for Momentum Baseball Academy. Some of the guys on the team liked his arm. They thought he had just a missile for an arm, so they nicknamed him Missile. And when he got back they played football in the spring and baseball in the spring. The student section, I think they just added Cuban because it had a bunch more syllables, and they could chant Cuban Missile. And it seemed to catch and kind of stuck.
Okay, so that's the Cuban Missile crisis, or Cuban Missile. And the throw down to second. O'Brien safe at second with a stolen base. Thank you for enlightening us on that. The count is 3-0 to Jack Redwine. O'Brien takes his lead. And the pitch. That's low for ball 4.
And the Cuban Missile crisis is aboard.
And that brings up Cole Timon. Timon grounded to third his first appearance. 2 runners on for the Cavs. That's the third walk given up by Rendozo.
Cole Timon is tied with 2 home runs for the Cavs.
No longer is he tied for the lead. Fly ball out into center field, and he can't make the catch. Runners are going to be safe all the way around. I think that's going to be an error on the center fielder. That brings up Campbell Kapanke, bases loaded. Kapanke singled to center field. The first pitch was a strike. And the 0-1 pitch, foul back, out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. It's outside for a ball. That pitch is low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Change it to a hit.
And that pitch is too low. Full count to Campbell Kapanke. Bases loaded. And the payoff pitch. And it's ball 4, an RBI walk to Campbell Kapanke. That'll bring up Luke Erickson.
Center fielder number 14, Luke Erickson.
Erickson flew out to right his first appearance. Base is still loaded, nobody out. Soft liner over to first, snagged there and doubles off Kapanke.
First baseman number 12, Tyson Woodcock.
Got to bring up Tyson Woodcock, making his 32nd plate appearance of the season.
And the first pitch is fouled away. He was hit by a pitch his last appearance. And the pitch. That's a called strike on the inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. 1 run in for the Cavs. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Ground ball off the pitcher's glove. Heading over to first. And they threw it away, and in to score is Redwine. And then Timon comes in. They're going to give a hit to Woodcock, and he does get the RBI. He gets 1 RBI on that, and then he went to second on an error on the throw.
First pitch to Ben Boda is a strike.
Boda walked his first time up. That pitch missed. One and 1 is the count. Now it's 2 and 1. There's the pitch. That's low for a ball.
So if you hear anything in the background, the Cavalier fans are seated next to us by the first base side, and the Iron City fans are down by the third base side.
Mendoza steps off the mound.
And as you are well aware, the Eau Claire Cavalier fans do travel very well.
3 and 1 is the count. The scoreboard says 3 and 0.
And while we're getting that straightened out, I'd just like to give a shout out to our statistician, Kirk. Kirk, thanks for all the information.
Three balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runner takes off. The pitch is high. Throw to third. In safely is Woodcock. And Ben Boda draws his second walk of the day. Takes us back to the top of the order, Caden Erickson. Erickson's 1 for 2. Got a 2 RBI single his last time up. And the first pitch is a called strike. Six to 1, the Cavs on top. Pitch is low, got away from the catcher. Coming in to score is Woodcock. So Woodcock scores on a wild pitch. Runner on second. That's Ben Boda. And line shot foul down the third baseline. No balls, 2 strikes. There are 2 outs. I forgot about that line drive double play. And the pitch. High pop up in the infield. Rendozo under it makes a catch. So we've played 3 innings. The Cavaliers picked up 4 runs.
on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 left on base. So we played 3 and a score, Cavaliers 7 and Iron City 1 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Royal Credit Union's low rates and flexible terms on auto loans can help keep your payments low. Get a great rate on your next car or truck purchase, or refinance an existing vehicle with an auto loan from Royal Credit Union. Royal also offers loans for buying or refinancing boats, UTVs, and other vehicles. Royal Credit Union wants to help keep your payments low. Check rates and apply for a Royal Credit Union vehicle loan online at rcu.org/autorate. Subject to credit approval.
And we're back here at Ellsworth,
The Thirsty Badger is proud
home
to be a
of the
sponsor
Hubbers, the Ellsworth Hubbers, who came out on top last night in the opener of this regional, defeating, or getting, no, they came out on the short end of a 7-0 score to the Holman Features. In other regional action over in the Augusta Regional last night, it was Osseo 12, Plum City 1. That game went 8 innings. Up in Hayward, it was Hayward over Washburn 3-0. And over in River Falls, it was the River Falls Fighting Fish over the Cadott Red Sox by a score of 9-2.
Moving on for the Miners in the top of the 4th. Center fielder number
So,
25,
due up for the Miners, Joe Wiener, then Mitch Stovall and Tommy Zakovic. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Jackson Vance starting his 4th inning of work. Here's the wind and the pitch. Pop foul out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. And set the belt and delivers. That just missed low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Check swing foul back into the screen.
Should mention, should Eau Claire hang on to win this game, we would be on the air tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Well, 3:30. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Yeah, in the dugout show will begin at 3:30 if the Cavs hang on and win this. And that's all subject to change depending on what happens with weather and how other games run.
But just so you have a general idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And the pitch. And it's low and inside for a ball. The loser of this game will play the Whittlesea Reds today at 7 o'clock. And the winner of this game will play the Whittlesea Reds tomorrow with a 4 o'clock first pitch. Fly ball, foul out of play. And the pitch. Ground ball in and out of the glove of Vance. And that's going to be an error on Vance.
Like Vance tried to throw the ball before he caught it in his glove.
Yeah, he took his eyes off before he had it securely. So with 1 out, Stovall is on at first. Brings up Tommy Zakovic.
Tommy Zakovic.
Strike in there to Zakovic.
Ground ball over to short. Toss to second for one. Over to first. No, they decide not to. The out is made at second for the third out of the inning. I don't see how that's 3 outs. Oh, they called interference, made the second out. Okay.
Score remains Eau Claire 7, Iron City 1.
So it was short to second to get the Stovall, and then he interfered with the play, so Zakovic is out. And we've played 3.5, and it's the Cavaliers 7 and the Iron City Miners 1 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Bottom of the fourth, third baseman, number 4, Xavier Bemnester.
So, leading off for the Cavaliers, we have Xavier Bemnester, followed by Gabe O'Brien, and then Jack Redwine. Bemnester is 0 for 2. He grounded to third and flew out to right. Fly ball, shortstop under it, and he makes a catch by Tommy Zakovic. That's going to bring up Gabe O'Brien. O'Brien grounded to second and drew a walk. And the pitch, swing and a miss for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. And that pitch missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. High pop foul out of play. Landed up by the tennis courts over there on the left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. To Gabe O'Brien, our Geno's player of the game. He hits a line shot foul down the first baseline. Remember, mention Gabe O'Brien's name out at Geno's Pizza tomorrow. Get yourself a free soft drink. If he gets on base and scores. Actually, he did score. So guess what? Mention Gabe's name tomorrow, and you get a free appetizer. Gabe O'Brien came through for you. Pop foul out of play. And now the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gabe O'Brien with 1 out. Rendazzo delivers and is down low, and O'Brien walks for the second time today. That's the 6th walk given up by Rendazzo.
Number 20, Jack Redwine.
Redwine at the plate. Ground ball picked up by Rendazzo. Throw over to second for 1, and they don't get the double play. So Redwine gets on a fielder's choice.
Catcher number 19, Cole Timon.
O'Brien is out at second, and Cole Timon steps to the plate. Timon got on a single his last time up. He also grounded to third. High pop up in the infield. Catcher underneath it. And he can't make the catch in it. He made the cardinal sin of catchers. That was Bramley. He got underneath it and kept drifting underneath. And most catchers will tell you that ball will go back towards the infield, which is exactly what it did. In fact, that almost landed fair. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Cole Timon. Two down. And the pitch. It's in the dirt for a ball. Runner goes. They can't find the ball. Rendazzo came in to get it. Jack Redwine is now on second. Takes his lead. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Ground ball over to short. Can't handle it. Picks it up. Throw over to first. Not in time. So Timon gets on an error by the shortstop. And the Cavs have runners on the corners. And let's see who we get for a courtesy runner out there. Maybe actually, I don't think they have the courtesy runner rule in the WBA. Timon takes his lead at first. Swing and a miss by Campbell Kapanke. Kapanke singled and walked. No balls and a strike to Campbell Kapanke. Swing and a miss, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Pop foul out of play. Right behind the scorer's booth. And the pitch. That's high for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Ground ball, foul. Count holds at 1-2. Redwine is at third. Timon at first. And the 1-2 pitch. Foul back. This guy in the Dennis Rodman jersey, who's been shagging some of the foul balls, had that look on his face when that one went foul. Oh man, not again. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's in the dirt. It gets away from the catcher. Redwine can't come in, but Timon goes down to second. Counts even at 2-2.
Yeah, one thing that isn't always the best is when the Cavaliers travel, they forget to bring some of those young kids with them to shag the balls.
Well, yeah, the one of them that we have along quite often is at a truck show. Fly ball out into left field, way back up against the fence. It's off the fence. No, it's gone. A 3-run home run for Campbell Kapanke. That'll put the Cavaliers on top 10-1.
So there are 3 Cavaliers tied at 2 home runs, and in the lead with 3 home runs will be Jack Redwine.
And now, no, Campbell now has 2. Yeah, you're right. I should have known better than to question you. You're sitting there looking right at the numbers. We have a little bit of a conference going on at the mound, but they're going to leave Rendozo in.
So Cole Timon and Campbell Kapanke are tied with 2 home runs apiece.
Actually, we do have a pitching change, and we'll have that all straightened out for you right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-2. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
And so the new pitcher is Tommy Zakovic. Colin Rendozo in 3 2/3 innings gave up 10 runs, only 5 of which were earned, and gave up 6 hits. At the plate for the Cavaliers, Luke Erickson, and he just swung and missed for strike 2. And the pitch is in the dirt. And the pitch, ground ball, foul down the first baseline. Costley tried to scoop it up. He was unsuccessful.
So if I'm doing my math right, basically the pitcher went to shortstop and the shortstop went to the pitcher.
And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So, the Cavaliers are out in the bottom of the 4th, but not before they pick up 3 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error. And nobody left on base. We've completed 4 innings, and it's the Cavaliers 10 and the Iron City Miners 1 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Now we're back to start the 5th inning. Leading off for the Miners is Ike Bramlett, the catcher. And the pitch is swung on a miss for strike 1. Jackson Vance starting his 5th inning of work. He's given up 2 hits. And the pitch. Fly ball out into center field. Luke Erickson drifting back makes the catch. That's going to bring up Marshall Zuito.
Right fielder number 4.
I do apologize. You guys didn't hear my awesome voice for a little bit there. I was down on the field helping your first baseman, Mr. Woodcock, there.
That pitch just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And the pitch. Chopped into the plate. One ball and 2 strikes. Marshall Zuito. Went down looking last time up. Dance delivers. Ground ball. Dance can't get it. Erickson picks it up, flips to first, and they got him. Tough play by Caden Erickson to make it at first base.
Looked like he barehanded it. Great play there.
Two down. Takes us back to the top of the order. Luke Zekovic. And the first pitch, fly ball, foul, only by a foot or 2. It's a loud strike down the left field line. I see folks are still out there in left field looking for that home run by Campbell Kapanke. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to Luke Zekovic. He struck out his last time up. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So we're halfway through the 5th inning. And the Cavaliers have a 10-1 lead over the Iron City Miners on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay. Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Alvo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
We're back here in Ellsworth. Leading off for the Cavaliers in the bottom half of the fifth inning is Tyson Woodcock. Woodcock is 1 for 1. He singled his last time up. He's also been hit by the pitch. And the first pitch is a ball inside. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt for a ball. Two balls, no strikes. That pitch is inside. 3-0 is the count. Tyson Woodcock. Tommy Zakovic on the mound. Here's the pitch. Strike called. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's in the dirt. Ball 4. Woodcock goes to first, brings up Ben Boda. Boda does not have an official at-bat yet today.
Number 17, Ben Boda.
He's walked twice. Here's the pitch from Zakovic. It's outside for a ball. And that one's a called strike. Counts even at 1-1 to Ben Boda. Zakovic throws over to first. Woodcock back in safely. Zakovic delivers, and the pitch is outside. Bramley trapped it between his legs. And the pitch. Ground ball right back up the middle, fielded by the shortstop to second for 1. They can't get the double play. So Boda is on a fielder's choice. And Woodcock is put out at second. And that brings up Caden Erickson. Erickson is 1 for 3. He had a 2 RBI single in the second inning. He's also popped out twice. Once to the first baseman, once to the pitcher. Pitch is high for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the wind in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Two balls and a strike. Caden Erickson. That pitch is high for a ball. 3-1. Hitter's pitch coming up now for Caden. And the pitch is a strike called. He watched that one. Count goes full now. Tyson Woodcock. No, Ben Boda at first. Zakovic's pitch. It's outside for ball 4. Erickson draws the walk, and we have 2 runners on. Brings up Xavier Bemnister. Bemnister's 0 for 3. He's due for something good. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. Zakovic at the belt and delivers ground ball over to third, scooped up, throw over to first, and they got him. Two down. Brings up our Geno's player of the game, Gabe O'Brien. Don't forget, Gabe O'Brien did score, so go out to Geno's and mention Gabe's name. Get yourself a free appetizer tomorrow. First pitch was a ball. Runners at second and third. Fly ball out into shallow right field. Coming in is the right fielder. That's Zuito, and he makes the catch. So for the Cavs, no runs on, no hits, there were no errors, and 2 were left on base. So we've completed 5 innings, and it's the Cavaliers 10 and the Iron City Miners 1 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
And we're back here at Ellsworth. Home of the Ellsworth Hubbards, who are in the other pool. They're in Pool A, and they currently have a 1-0 record in Pool A. Due up for the Iron City Miners in the top of the 6th inning, James Huber, Colin Randozzo, and Jake Koza. Huber is 0 for 1. He struck out. He also drew a walk and scored the only run. That was in the 3rd inning. Fly ball foul. Broken bat, it sounded like. Yeah, he got rid of that one. Time for some kindling. So he finds a bat in the dugout and heads back out. No balls and 1 strike to James Huber. Swing and a miss, strike 2. We chased a curveball that time. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So Huber with his 2nd strikeout of the day.
21, Colin Randazzo.
That's strikeout number 10 for Jackson Vance. And brings up Colin Randozzo. He went down looking, then got on an infield hit. And the first pitch is a strike at the belt. And the pitch inside for a ball. Mendoza was the starting pitcher. He's now the shortstop for the Iron City Miners. And the pitch, foul back into the net. And the pitch, swung on and missed. Strikeout number 11 for Jackson Vance. That brings up Jake Kozup. He's 0 for 2, struck out. And then he reached on a wild pitch on that strikeout. And then he popped to second. That pitch is just a little low. You know, there are days when players have to step up. We were all expecting Lucas Costley to throw this game today, and line shot out into center field. That's going to be a base hit. So Kozup's at first, brings up Joe Wiener, and Costley wasn't able to go today. His arm was a little bit sore. So Jackson Vance got the call to the mound, and so far today, knock on wood, he's delivering a gem. Swing and a miss for strike one to Kozup. Yeah. Or check that, Wiener.
If you asked me who my MVP was, I'd say the Cavs pitcher.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back into the screen. Wiener popped out to the pitcher. Jackson Vance caught it in his first at bat, then struck out a second time up. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. And the pitch is high. We're in the top of the 6th inning, 2 down. And the pitch, ground ball, fielded by Vance. Tossed to Woodcock at first in time. We played 5.5, and it's the Cavaliers 10 and the Iron City Miners 1 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Ready for a better way to bank? Switch to Royal Credit Union. Royal Credit Union is a financial co-op, not a corporation. So we return earnings to our members. That means you get low or no fees for account services and better rates on deposits and loans. You'll also have all the digital tools you need at your fingertips, so managing your account is easy. Royal is ready to help you discover the credit union difference. Switch to Royal Credit Union today at rcu.org/difference. Insured by NCUA.
Back here in Ellsworth, Rick Olson along with Ann Monroe on the computer. Ben Ryder at my side here, and Cassie Johnson-Nelson down on the camera. As the Cavaliers have a 10-1 lead going into the bottom of the 6th inning. Leading off for the Cavs is Jack Redwine. Redwine is 1 for 2. Scored the Cavs' first run when he hit a solo home run over the right field fence. He also grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up and drew a walk. First pitch is a called strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. Fly ball out into center field. Drifting back is Winner. He can't get to it. It falls in. And Redwine chugs into second with a double. That'll bring up Cole Timon.
Catcher number 19, Cole Timon.
Redwine's seeing the ball very well today.
Timon is 1 for 3. Single to center field. Eventually scored a run. Also got on an error and grounded to third. Line shot straight out into center field for a base hit. Redwine rounds third. He's coming toward the plate. And he's going to score. And they've got Timon hung up between first and second. And they make the tag. But Redwine comes in to score. Timon gets credit for a base hit. And the RBI.
Left fielder number 27, Campbell Capanky.
So the Cavs go up on top 11-1. That puts the 10-run rule into effect. Campbell Capanky homered his last time up with a 3-run blast. Also singled to center field and drew a walk. Pitch is outside for a ball. Here's the pitch. Inside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Foul back. Here's the wind and the pitch. Pop foul out of play, coming back toward the bleachers that we're near. Landed right behind the young lady sitting in those bleachers. And the pitch is low. Full count. Here's the pitch. And it's ball 4. Capanky draws his second walk of the game. Brings up Luke Erickson. Erickson 0 for 3. Flew to right, line to the first baseman, and struck out. High pop foul out of play. No balls in a strike to Luke Erickson. 1 out. Here's the pitch. It's outside for a ball. Capanky on first, takes his lead. And that one hit Erickson. Brings up Tyson Woodcock. Woodcock is 1 for 1. He's only got 1 official at bat, but he singled back to the pitcher. That was an infield single. And the first pitch is a strike at the letters. He was also hit by the pitch and walked. He has scored twice. Here's the pitch. High pop up over along the first base side and hauled in there by Jake Kozup. Brings up Ben Boda. Boda is 0 for 1. Grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up. And the pitch is high. Here's the wind in the pitch. That one's low for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes to Ben Boda. 2 down, 2 on. Here's the pitch. That's a strike called at the knees. And the 2-1 pitch. High pop foul. Counts even now at 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on a miss for strike 3. So that'll do it for the Cavaliers in the 6th inning. But they do pick up a run on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 2 were left on base. So we've completed 6, and the score, Cavaliers 11 and the Iron City Miners 1 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
And we're back here at Ellsworth. Jackson Vance on the mound for the 7th inning. Hoping to get a complete game. Cavs up by 10, 11-1. If they can shut down the Iron City Miners this inning, that'll be the game. Due up for the Miners, Michael Stovall, Tommy Zakovic, and Ike Bramlett.
Leading off for the Miners in the top of the 7th, the second baseman, number 12, Michael Stovall.
Stovall steps in. Vance looks in for the sign and delivers. Ground ball right back up the middle. Picked up by Boda. Throw over to first, and it pulled Woodcock off the bag. That's going to be an error on Boda. And Michael Stovall is on at first. Brings up Tommy Zakovic. Zakovic is 0 for 1. He was out on an interference call. Swing and a miss for a strike. He also drew a walk. It was actually interference on the part of Stovall over at second base. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, throw down to first, and it's not in time. No balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Runner on first. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
The catcher, number 8, Ike Bramlett.
That's 12 strikeouts now for Jackson Vance. Ike Bramlett, the catcher, is at the plate. Here's the pitch. It's high for a ball. Vance at the belt. And delivers. Runner goes. Throw it on to second. And he's under the tag. Erickson thought he had a pretty good shot at him there. And Stovall was able to get underneath the tag. 2 balls, no strikes to Bramlett. And the ball is fouled back.
So my guess would be the reason that they wanted to get that stolen base was to try to prevent the 10-run rule.
Stovall takes the lead at second. And the pitch, it's inside for a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike to Ike Bramlett. Bramlett is struck out and flew out to center field. Vance at the belt. And he delivers. That's high for ball 4. Runners at first and second now. And we're going to get time called by Ryan Bemnister. Probably reminding them that if they get out of this inning without any run scoring, that this game will be over. Make sure your throws. Get that lead runner. Those are some of the things he's talking about. Marshall Zuito is up for the Iron City Miners. He's 0 for 2. Struck out looking and grounded to second. A ground ball to second here would be a really nice thing. Here's the pitch from Vance. That one's in the dirt. Stopped by Timon.
And I just thought it was pretty neat. Coach Bemnister just waved at our camera on his way off the mound visit.
Kind of giving Cassie a high five down there. And the pitch. Inside, ball 2. Vance looking in. And the pitch. That's a strike called. Stovall at second. Bramlett at first. Zuito at the plate. Pitch is high. 3 balls and a strike. And the pitch. Inside, ball 4. So the bases are loaded. Takes us back to the top of the order. Luke Zekovic. He's 0 for 3, struck out twice.
Left fielder number 7, Luke Zakovic.
Could really use a strikeout right here. Here's the pitch from Vance. Strike called.
Cavalier third baseman playing even with the grass. Cavalier first baseman playing even with the grass. Up the middle, they're looking for the double play.
Corners are up. And the pitch. Top foul out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Oh, that just missed. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Line shot foul. That one almost took off the head of Michael Stovall down there at third. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Vance's 1-2 pitch. Line shot out into center field. Erickson with it. And nobody coming in to score. Two down. Brings up James Huber. Actually, on that play, Stovall committed the cardinal sin on a fly ball to the outfield, and you're a runner at third. You have your foot on the bag when that he was partway down the line. He had to go back to third, which prevented him from tagging and scoring. James Huber struck out twice, so he's 0 for 2. He also drew a walk. Vance delivers. High pop up, foul out of play. Landed just behind us. There's the pitch. That one just missed outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That's high for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. That's inside for a ball. Nowhere to put him. James Huber at the plate. Bases loaded. Vance delivers. Strike called. Huber thought he had ball 4. Traveling time now for the runners on base. Full count to James Huber, 2 down. Vance delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that'll do it. Cavaliers take game 1. 11-1.
The final score this afternoon due to the 10-run roll. Eau Claire 11, Iron City 1.
So the Cavaliers, 11 runs on 1 hit. Or check that, 11 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. And the Iron City Miners, 1 run on 4 hits, 3 errors. Cavaliers the winners. That means that they will be playing tomorrow at 4 p.m. And we'll be back with more information about all that on Talkin' Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-2. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
Of Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball live on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Talkin' Baseball, with a look back at today's game. Time now for Talkin' Baseball, with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game, presented by Mama Squirrels Cleaning and more. And now, back out to the ballpark.
And we're back here at Ellsworth, where the Cavaliers have just come out on top by a score of 11-1. Cavaliers picked up 11 runs on 8 hits, 1 error, and the Iron City Miners 1 run, 4 hits, 3 errors. And the winning pitcher, Jackson Vance, who went the distance. Losing pitcher today was Colin Randozo. And we'll have Coach Bemnister right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Jason, let's go see your room.
No, that's not right. How was it? Is it good?
And we're back here in Ellsworth talking with Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister, and congratulations, 11-1 on kind of an emergency pitcher today.
Yeah, I found out last night that Lucas was going to be down. His arm's just a little tired and stuff like that, and it's better to be safe than sorry with these kids that are playing in college and stuff like that, and you want their health to be 100%. So we made the call late last night, probably about 10 o'clock. I shared with everybody that Vance is going to be the one that's going to go, and they're all ready. We're going to pitch Tyson and after Vance and then go to Fish, but plans changed when Garcia didn't show up, so I had to bring Xavier out to third and put Tyson back at first, and we didn't need anybody else. Vance threw awesome.
He threw a great game today. Only gave up 4 hits, allowed the 1 run. It was an earned run, but he did allow 1 run, but he struck out 13 hitters.
Yeah,
he had his stuff working today.
He came to work. I mean, there's no doubt about that. He took the ball and he ran with it today, so that was pretty awesome.
And we talk about how, times happen when you have to step up sometimes, and that's a pretty good example of exactly what we're talking about.
Yes.
And he stepped up and made the most of it, and made it so that Cavaliers get to play tomorrow afternoon, which is a really good thing because now winning, you're in at the state tournament.
Yeah, and that was our goal. I mean, just like we set a goal at the end of the year, how many games we had to win and that kind of stuff. And tomorrow, it's you win. We set a goal of 6 wins and we win the whole damn thing. And we got 1 win down. We win tomorrow. We get to play at home probably. So,
and that would be just an awesome thing. In fact, you win tomorrow, and we'll be at Carson Park next weekend for the WBA state tournament. At least Friday and Saturday. We don't know where we're going to fall into that mix of things, but
we'll see.
Yeah, and hey, let's look forward to that, and
let's get a win tomorrow.
That's exactly right. That's where I was going with that. Let's look forward to that and have that be the goal for tomorrow, is to get that win, and maybe stick around a little bit today and enjoy some of the atmosphere here and watch the Whittlesea Reds, get a little knowledge of them and see what happens.
Yeah, it'd be nice if somebody did a scouting report for me. Unfortunately, I've got a dinner date with my wife at a winery, so that's what baseball players do.
Those are important too. Wives and wineries. I understand how that works. All right. Well, congratulations on the 10-run rule win, 11-1 over the Iron City Miners. And we'll be back with more Talkin' Baseball right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute pre-diabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
And we're back here in Ellsworth, where the Cavaliers just came out on top of the Iron City Miners by a score of 11-1. Winning pitcher in this game was Jackson Vance, evening his record up at 3-3 for the season. He gave up 1 run. It was an earned run. Only gave up 4 hits and struck out 13 in his victory today. Cavs had 11 runs on 8 hits with 1 error, and the Iron City Miners had 1 run on 4 hits. They committed 3 errors. So that means that the Cavs will be playing tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. And, of course, you should join us tomorrow on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV as we bring you more of the Cavaliers and the WBA regionals from right here in Ellsworth as the Cavs face the Whittlesea Reds. Coverage will begin at 3:30 p.m. with the In the Dugout show, followed by all the live play-by-play action. Also, the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 are excited to announce that NLWN-2 will be the new home for Colfax Viking football. Our first broadcast of Viking football will be on Friday, August 18th, when the Vikings take on the Whitehall Norsemen. Viking preview will begin at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play action. Our Geno's player of the game today was Gabe O'Brien, and Gabe did score a run today. So that means that tomorrow when you go out to Geno's, just mention Gabe's name and get a free appetizer for your table. Gabe O'Brien came through for us today with scoring a run, and he was our Geno's player of the game. I also want to remind you that today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game is brought to you by Geno's Pizza right next to Action City near the intersection of Highways 93 and I-94. Midwest Environmental Consultants, lawn care and soil testing experts for Western Wisconsin. The Goat Coffee House at 336 Water Street for good coffee and great sandwiches. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Menominee Eye and Optical with quality personalized care for you and your family. Mama Squirrels Cleaning and More, ready to get your house sparkling. Your Napa Auto Parts store at 3580 Mall Drive in Eau Claire. Slayton's Technology Service, official IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network, and Royal Credit Union, where they're different in a good way. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. So for Ben Ryder and Ann Monroe and Cassie Johnson Nelson, this is Rick Olson, and that final score, once again, Cavaliers 11 and the Iron City Miners 1. You've been tuned to Talkin' Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching Talkin' Baseball, a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. This has been a production of NLWN-TV.